Well, hello and good evening, everyone. It is time to start the program, and so let me begin by welcoming you to the 2020-2021 BC Wheelchair Basketball Society Annual Awards, and of course, this is the virtual edition. My name is Brad Hagel, and I'm going to be your host tonight, and I'm coming to you from sunny Chilliwack, the green heart of the Fraser Valley. What a wild and a wonderful, weird year that we have come through. And although we're not meeting in person like we have in the past, our board of directors has figured out a way to be able to host our annual award celebration. And tonight, it's the product of that. So thank you for tuning in. We have what I think to be a very exciting night ahead. So again, welcome to all of you from across all 944,000 square kilometers of our beautiful province of British Columbia. My understanding is that we have some distinguished guests among us who are also tuning in with us tonight, some a little more local and some from far away. So welcome to all of you. And I guess what I'm really trying to say is thank you for being here, everyone, tonight. This is going to be a very special evening. So before we get to handing out some of the hardware, I would like to begin our evening by acknowledging the Indigenous peoples of all the lands that we are on today. While we meet on a virtual platform through the wonder of YouTube and the internet, we want to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands which each one of us call home. And so we do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improve our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. So from coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territory of all the Inuit, the Métis, and the First Nations people that call this land home. So please join me in a moment of reflection to consider how we are and how we can each, in our own way, try to move forward in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. Thank you. In a moment, I'm going to be reviewing the list of awards being recognized for the 2020 night that we are taking on tonight. But first, we want to do a giveaway. Yeah, we are going to be giving away a random draw winner for the BCWBS prize pack. And so that draw was made late this afternoon. And some of you might be wondering who is eligible for the random draw pack. Well, I'm glad you've been asked, because in order to be eligible, everyone who has nominated an individual or a group for the awards that we are presenting tonight, those people were put in a hat. And we are about to announce the winner of the BCWBS prize pack. So if your name is Zachary Maurice from Northern Adapted Sports, you are the winner of that. So let's give Zachary a virtual round of applause. This is how we do the round of applause virtually. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations to you, Zachary. Awesome stuff. Okay. Also, if you have a question for us, maybe this is a good time. I just like to let you know that if you want to give a shout out to someone, if you're listening from a certain community and want to let us know how that happens, you can feel free to use the chat feature. We have people, Nadine and Michelle, who are going to be monitoring that throughout the evening. So we'd love to hear from you, and just do that in the chat feature. And then through the wonder of technology, because I'm juggling a whole bunch of things, they will alert me to maybe some questions you have, some trivia, I don't know, and we can make this a little more interactive than it is right now. So, okay. So we have 5 categories of awards tonight, but we're going to be awarding 6 awards. So 5 categories, but 6 awards. And you can see those on the screen in front of you. Let's just review the list of awards being recognized tonight. So the first one is our Coach of the Year. Then that will follow by the Outstanding Community Support Award. Then the Let's Play Award. The Athletes of the Year. So you'll notice there's an S there. We're going to be awarding 2 awards for the Athletes of the Year. And finally, the Push the Game Award. Now, this is new for 2020, where you're going to actually be able to vote on the winner during tonight's show. And this award is presented by the Victory Creative Group. So without further ado, I think we should get on to award number 1. And this is for the Coach of the Year for 2020. And you can see the criteria there. I don't need to read that to you, but we know what the Coach of the Year usually entails. And here are a list of the people who were nominated for this category. As you can see, Joel Ewart. Joel, the pride of Prince George. Woot, woot. We have Joe Higgins. Joe is the unofficial mayor of Ladner, I am told. We have Katie Miyazaki. We have Riley Stiles. And we have Rob Stiles. So, drum roll please. The Coach of the Year is indeed Joe Higgins. Congratulations, Joe. Let me just tell you a little bit about Joe, and if you are part of our BCWBS family, this, as you know, is a man that doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. But Joe is an amazing coach who has seen decades, yes, decades of change within the sport of wheelchair basketball. And he's been able to adapt and modify his coaching and training styles in order to meet the current needs of BCWB athletes and members. Joe is one of the most passionate and dedicated coaches within the sport of wheelchair basketball, and we are so lucky to benefit from his wealth of knowledge and experience. Joe, this past year, was coaching the BCWBS Fraser Valley Club program and some of the target athletes in person when the pandemic shut down the in-person programs. So then Joe just, here's the word, he pivoted to online coaching as if he had been doing it for years. He made the best of what was the most difficult situation. He moved the Fraser Valley Club to online weekly programming, making the kids feel totally comfortable with this new way of training. He trained one-on-one initially with the high-performance targeted athletes at the Richmond Oval, and then he was able to switch this to online as well. He personally has stayed in contact one-on-one with all of his athletes throughout the year. Just an amazing feat. Joe also took his International Red Cross work virtually when the pandemic hit. So Joe has such a history with wheelchair basketball and with the BCWBS. He really is unlike any other member or coach. He's unique, creative, demands a high level of commitment from his athletes. Joe knows how to build champions, and he's willing to put the time in with any athlete who wants to improve. So I would like to give my heartfelt congratulations to Coach of the Year, 2020 Coach of the Year, Joe Higgins. And it's going to be our practice tonight that we are going to give a round of applause. Please join me in doing that. Yes, a round of applause for Joe. And Joe, on a personal note, I do need to announce to everybody that you have been such a influential individual in our own family as well. So thank you, Joe. And congratulations on this very well-deserved award. Okay, that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's keep going here. Award number 2. We are going to be awarding the Outstanding Community Support Award. And as the title entails, you can see the criteria there on the screen. This could be an individual. It can also be a business or an organization that continues to make a significant impact on our sport. And this year, like I said earlier, and as we've all experienced, was quite just an exceptional year. And so you can see that there have been 4 names on the right side of your screen, people who have been nominated for this: Mandy Graham, the Jumpstart Charities, Brandy Styles, and finally the Victory Creative Group. So join me in drumming the table, please, as we announce the Outstanding Community Support recipient. This is Jumpstart Charities. Thank you, and congratulations to Jumpstart Charities. Jumpstart has been a key funder of Let's Play in my community over the past few years. Not just my community of Chilliwack, but Let's Play in my community, that's the title. Most recently, they funded a fleet of chairs for Pisces and the Greater Victoria area. Jumpstart has also provided unique COVID relief funding that has helped us in various areas during the past year. Jumpstart has been crucial in the development of Let's Play across our province. Jumpstart has provided us with over $100,000 over the past few years and has been instrumental in increasing our reach with our regional development and our schools programs. Let's Play would not be where they are today without the generous Jumpstart funding. So congratulations to Jumpstart Charities, our 2020 Community Partner Award. And let's also give a virtual round of applause to Jumpstart Charities and their significant partnership with BCWBS. So before we get to our next award, I touched on it a little bit earlier in the opening remarks that I want to draw your attention to the fact that we are going to be presenting a brand new award this year. This is called the Push the Game Award. Could you say it with me, please? Push the Game Award. Yes. So what's cool about this one, and you can read a little bit about it there, but what's cool about this award is that the winner hasn't even been selected yet. It's kind of going to be like a People's Choice Award. And throughout this evening, you, yes, you, the viewer, the audience, you are going to be in the driver's seat for this one. Now, we're going to go through the bios of each of the 6 nominees in a moment. But then you can vote by putting your name and their name into the chat. So I hope you understand that part. You've probably got about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. Nadine and Michelle are going to be keeping an eye on that all evening. There is a couple of rules. There's only 1 vote per person, and the votes are going to close after we award the first Athlete of the Year award. Okay, so do you understand that? I'm going to go through all 6 of the nominees right now, and between now and the end of the first Athlete of the Year award, you are going to put your name and their name in the chat, and then Michelle and Nadine are going to be watching that. And at the end of the evening, we are going to be presenting the first ever Push the Game Award. Very cool. So let's just talk a little bit about this new award. The Push the Game Award is, as I said, presented by Victory Creative. And the nominations were collected from our membership for stories that showcase an individual, a family, or a corporation or a foundation that has been very creative in their quest to be and to do better this past year. And that this has inspired others in an impactful manner. So the Push the Game Award really was inspired in part by a quotation by Stephanie Dixon. You might know that name, Stephanie Dixon. She is a former Paralympian, and she's also the Team Canada chef de mission for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. And this is the quotation that she said. She said, "Our stories have the ability to unite us and to inspire connection, engagement, growth, and change. It's also incredibly empowering to stand up and own who we are and the journeys that have shaped us." So that's a little bit of the spirit, I guess, behind this new Push the Game Award. So what I'd like to do now is to go through all of the 6 nominees, and you can be voting, like I said, in the chat bar, in the little chat box, and do that between now and near the end of the evening, where we're actually going to be awarding that. I hope that's clear. All right, so let's tell you our first nominee. Our first nominee for the Push the Game Award is the Fraser Valley Wheelchair Sports. Second one is Bo Hedges. Our third nominee is Joe Higgins, followed by Tara Yanis, Keaton McEachran from Chilliwack, woot woot. Sorry, I'm supposed to be unbiased. And finally, Megan Smith. So let's just go through these one by one, and then you'll be able to sort through who you want to vote in the chat bar. So the first one is the Fraser Valley Wheelchair Sports. The Fraser Valley Club, along with Joe as the coach, have shown so much passion for the game this season. Darlene Antoniuk and all the athletes really became resourceful. They came together to support one another in these hard times. With the help of Coach Joe to keep virtual practices interesting for all those showing up, it has been so great to see how they are still going strong and keeping people involved. And like many people and many clubs, it's not been an easy road this past year. There's been many challenges with organizing practices in person, getting tournaments sorted, and even getting people to show up to play. Watching this club grow to what they are is really what our sport is all about. Hearing about how well individual athletes have been doing and improving is great. They're so open and willing to have anyone come out and participate in person or online. Without this club, a lot of our members in the Valley would simply not be where they are today. So that is nominee number 1, Fraser Valley Wheelchair Sports. Our second of 6 nominees is Bo Hedges. There's the lovely graphics. Nice pictures of Bo. Thank you. 2020 was supposed to be a Paralympic year for Bo. His 4th trip to the Paralympic Games. Just let that sink in for a moment. His 4th trip. You know that the Paralympics are held every 4 years, and if you do the math and add a year, Bo, was supposed to be going to his 4th Paralympic Games. A huge feat for anyone, but a bigger accomplishment for someone who had just turned 40 years old. Sorry, Bo, we had to let that one out. But instead, with the postponement of the games into 2021, Bo spent his time split between commitments at his family ranch in northern BC, where he trained on an old outdoor cement court and a makeshift gym for strength and conditioning. And he split his time between there and Toronto with the national team, training in lockdown conditions when the team could actually be in a gym for limited drills. Throughout 2020, Bo has not only continued to persevere through the rough classification decisions that saw his men's team lose players, but he has led BCWBS as the board chair through strategic planning development, ongoing return to play planning, and delay after delay in his own return to competition during the global pandemic. Bo continues to be a true leader as captain of the men's national team, inspiring his team to keep focused on the goal of returning to competition and ultimately to the postponed 2020 Paralympics in the summer of 2021. He uses his mental preparation skills to keep himself focused, fit, and dedicated to being a better leader, a player, and a person. Not only does he have a leadership role with BCWBS as the board chair, as I mentioned earlier, he's active as a board member with Athletes Can, providing a voice and advocacy for athletes across Canada. His work ethic, his passion, his dedication make him an ideal nomination for someone who pushes the game. And as captain for Team Canada, Bo has been instrumental in leading this group during 2020 with focus, passion, dedication, acting as a role model and a leader to overcome challenges like, losing a teammate due to classification rulings, navigating lockdowns affecting competition, and training essential for Paralympic game preparations, and balancing commitments between various philanthropic board and organizational roles. So at age 40, Bo continues to push himself, his team, and everyone around them to be better, to overcome the challenges of navigating a global pandemic and still be positive in his outlook for this year and beyond. He is a leader who quietly takes things in stride, offers support to anyone who asks, and takes the time to consider all sides of any decision before sharing his thoughts on how to help, how to lead, and how to make things less of a burden and challenge. So not only a leader off the court, this is my final sentences, sorry. Bo is a force to be reckoned with on the court through his knowledge of the game, his strategy on the court, and his ability to play at the top level required to proudly represent his country. That is our second nominee. That would be Bo Hedges. Let's move on now to our third nominee. And this is a face that you've seen on the screen already this evening. Our third nominee is Joe Higgins. Joe Higgins. Coach Joe didn't really know much about Zoom sessions, and he had to learn about the technology he needed to do that he really wanted to provide. So every week, he added some new ideas and features to each of his Zoom sessions. He has spent a lot of time and a lot of energy improving this process and making the sessions varied, making them interesting, and really worthwhile for the participants. Just look at the smiles in those photos around Joe on your screen. Joe, as we all know, is a can-do person who had a great idea and executed it very well. And he is doing what he's done all along, sharing what he has learned with others and providing sessions to many groups, not only here in British Columbia, but all around the world. Joe epitomizes the idea that one person can truly make a difference in this world. And what he has done for so many players during the pandemic is truly amazing and inspiring to this person and to many others. So that was our third nominee for this amazing award. That would be Joe Higgins. Moving on to number 4. I'm looking at the name Tara Yanis. Tara Yanis. With the loss of Tokyo 2020 being postponed, Tara just put her mind straight away to continue her training. First in her backyard with, yes, Joe barking at her from her phone, to inside her house to the court at the Richmond Oval. Tara drove herself week after week to train most times alone in the Oval with Coach Joe in person. And then as in-person events were shut down, Tara moved to the online training only with Coach Joe on an iPad. Imagine that. I know that a few times she questioned if she could carry on, but Tara is so determined and dedicated to achieve not just her own goal of getting to Tokyo, but of making sure that she did not let her fellow teammates down. And she stayed at peak performance level until she could be with her team in Toronto. Tara has shown such tenacity this last year, but to be honest, it's her true character that has been shining through since she joined us the first time for a BCWBS program. She is a phenomenal athlete, a truly great ambassador for women in sport, and has pushed her game so far, and as Coach Joe said, she is performing at a level on the court that is far above where she was pre-pandemic, which is quite amazing. She did it by pushing herself. Tara quietly inspires others, but she is a fierce leader on the court. Tara never forgets to be grateful for what she has within the wheelchair basketball community. We've got 2 more nominees, folks. Moving on to our 5th nominee, 5th of 6th. This is Keaton McEachran. Keaton is one of those athletes that never complains and never gives up. He's always wanting to improve and tackling the new skills and drills with gusto. Keaton, I can tell you from personal experience, he enters the gym of the Chilliwack Cheetahs with speed and a smile that lights up the area. Keaton is a culture builder. With his encouragement of others and his upbeat attitude, he loves to see others around him succeed, and he will give 110% in whatever he is asked of him. People who know Keaton tell us that it is a pleasure to know him. It is just a pleasure to know this impressive young man. Keaton has been an enthusiastic fan in one BC Games and a starting athlete in another. He is a difference maker in his PE classes and an informal mentor to many younger athletes in his school and in his community. Keaton models his parents' dedication to serve as well, making sure that all the equipment is put away before he wheels off the court. Keaton is pushing the game forward with his positive attitude, his dedication to improve, and his desire to see others around him succeed. Keaton is learning from his family that sport has the power to change lives, to truly change lives, and he's adopting that mindset from his parents. Okay, so we've come through Keaton, and now we are ready to hear about our final nominee for the Push the Game Award. And this is, of course, Megan Smith. Megan has been a wonderful volunteer for as long as she's been able to. In the beginning of the pandemic, she reached out, she asked to be involved in anything and everything with our Go Time crew and our Let's Play online. Megan started her first year of college virtually, and with all that she had going on, she was still wanting to give back and get more girls involved in our virtual programs. While attending school virtually, training as much as she was allowed to in person and on Zoom, and trying to sort out her future, she still made time to log on to the Go Time sessions to help build and inspire a community of young participants. Well done, Megan. Megan's passion for wheelchair basketball has now translated into what she is doing with her education. She was just accepted into the therapeutic recreation program at Douglas College and wants to take her NCCP coaching to help younger athletes at the BC Games. Megan went from being a Let's Play participant, not wanting to play, to now giving back as much as she can to help them be just as passionate as she is. Watching Megan grow up has been amazing. She went from being such a quiet and shy person to wanting to share her story with young athletes to get them more involved. So, audience and people who are tuning in, I've just listed all 6 people. And like I said before, the voting for the Viewer's Choice Push the Game Award presented by Victory Creative will close following the first Athlete of the Year award announcement. So I think you've got a few minutes to do that. But now that you've seen all 6 and heard about all 6, feel free to light up that chat box. And like I say, we'll be tabulating them throughout the broadcast. Okay. Let me just take a little sip if I can. All right. That might be unprofessional for a awards host to do that, but hey, I was thirsty. Before we move on to award number 3 this evening, we want to pause at this point in our evening to acknowledge that there were people in our BCWBS family who were with us a year ago, but sadly they're no longer with us today. 4 men who have contributed to our sport in our province, whose legacies will continue to live on. And they are Dave Elder, Brad Jacobson, John Lundy, and Tony Murrow. On behalf of the BCWBS family, we hope that their memory will continue to live on with us in the months and the years ahead. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, it is now time to move on to award number 3, and this is the Let's Play Award. So we'll let you review the criteria is on the screen there. Let's Play, as you know, is our entry-level opportunity for young athletes to get involved with our amazing sport. And we have 2 nominees this evening. The first is Charlotte Chan, and the second one is Deb Murin. So, with your drum roll happening, the Let's Play recipient for 2020 is indeed Charlotte Chan. Congratulations, Charlotte. Charlotte was an avid participant in the Let's Play online program in 2020 as she attended daily from March until June, and then consistently attended the Tuesday dance class and Thursday strength and conditioning class over the summer. Charlotte has participated in, get this, all of the camps that have been offered over the past year, as well as several of the Go Time events. Charlotte has improved her physical literacy, her self-confidence, and her fitness over the past year. She's also matured and become much more interactive and verbal over the course of 2020. She's volunteered, she's helped out with some of the younger Let's Play participants, and she's been a great role model for all of the young ladies in the program. Charlotte was always fully engaged in the themes, wearing hats and costumes, special t-shirts, and other fun initiatives. She was competitive in all of the games and the activities, and even got her chair all set up to participate in the roller sessions at home. Charlotte has been an exemplary participant in every one of the Let's Play and Junior programs we've offered over the past year. She's also been very active at school when possible and uses her Let's Play chair on a regular basis in her PE classes. She's a lovely young lady with a great sense of humor and a super work ethic. So Charlotte is in the transition phase and will be moving along in the BCWBS pathway with the hopes of participating soon at the BC Games in the near future. So congratulations, Charlotte. Let's continue our trend by giving Charlotte a rousing round of virtual applause. So congratulations to you. Now, I need to ask, have you voted yet? Have you voted for the Push the Game Award? Remember, you've only got one vote. Use it wisely, but you want to be on that very soon. And you can do that in the chat. Like I said, only one entry per person, please. Okay, I think you've heard enough of Brad for a while. And we now have a special treat for you. This is our attentive audience that I'm talking to. We have two members of the women's national team who have pre-recorded a video message for us from their home 4 provinces over in the provincial capital of Toronto. Tara Yanis and Pender Island's own Katie Dandino, we now turn the program over to you.
What's up, everyone in BC and BC Wheelchair Basketball? I am Katie Dandino. I was a former female athlete of the year, and this is
Tara Yanis, and I am also a former female athlete of the year. And we are out here in Toronto right now, training with Team Canada, prepping for Tokyo 2021.
And we would just like to say congratulations to all the nominees and congratulate them on all their hard work through this year. It's been a very challenging year, and I think we all can agree that it is tough to keep ourselves centered. So congratulations with being able to keep putting in hard work and keep yourself motivated to be game ready.
Yeah, so speaking of motivation, I think it's obviously taken a toll on a lot of people. But I think for us, I think I can speak for the both of us when I say that our motivation has really been Tokyo 2021 and trying to stay really focused on what the goal is and just getting there and trying to up our game in whatever capacity that we could. And whether sometimes that was just roller workouts, Zoom roller workouts, or if we were able to get on court. Yeah, it was really tough, but now, yeah, we're here and we're sort of in the home stretch, but we just really want to give a shout out to everyone back in BC who has stayed really focused on those goals and ready for this whole thing to be over and to get back on court and all play together again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'd just like to give a big shout out to the whole BC Wheelchair Basketball organization. You know, everyone there has been incredibly supportive of us in our journey to Tokyo, and yeah, it's been really awesome to have that kind of solid support. You know, every single person in the organization comes together and makes it, you know, the great organization that it is. So we just like to give a shout out to everyone. Thank you guys for, you know, the continued support that we always have.
I concur with Katie Dandino here. Yeah, we really couldn't do it without BC Wheelchair Basketball's support. Everyone in the office, no matter if it's training or if it's equipment. We were able to train with Joe. I've trained with Joe personally for quite some time, all on my own before, Katie showed up for a couple months. And so it's been really amazing to have that support. And there's no way that we could have bettered us as basketball players without it. So big thank you to BC Wheelchair Basketball, and good luck to everyone out there in BC, and can't wait to see you on court in 2021. 2021. Yeah.
2021.
Okay.
Wow, thank you, Tara and Katie. My favorite line in that little snippet was, "I concur with Katie Dandino on that." That was quite good. Thank you. Well, I'm understanding that the votes are coming in. They're a little bit slow, and so we are going to put on the screen right now a list of the nominees again for the Push the Game Award. Remember, this is the brand new award. This is the inaugural Push the Game Award presented by the Victory Creative Group. You've heard me talk about all 6 of these people. You are going to have to choose, and to choose wisely, which one you want to vote for. Again, you can do that in the chat. Let's just go through the list one more time. Fraser Valley Wheelchair Sports, Bo Hedges, Joe Higgins, Tara Yanis, we just saw her on the screen, Keaton McEachran, and Megan Smith. So I do need to say, before we forget about the ladies that we just saw, thank you. And on behalf of our organization, we want to wish you our best wishes for some great training leading up to the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics, which is actually 2021, but we all know that. And I digress. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the 4th award. This would be the Athlete of the Year. Like I said earlier, we are going to be giving 2 of these awards away. You can see the criteria there. Like I said earlier, and I might sound like a broken record if some of you remember what records are, but at the end of our first presentation of this award, the votes will be closed, and then we will tabulate the results of the People's Choice, the Push the Game Award. Then we'll move on to the second award of the Athlete of the Year. I'm getting all confused. Let's just review the nominees. There are 6 of them. We have Ben Garrett, we have Ben Hagel, Malcolm Hunter, Brooke Parapaluk, Megan Smith, and Riley Stiles. So just again, a reminder that if you haven't voted already, please do that in the chat feature of the browser that you're watching. Okay, so without further ado, the first of 2 recipients for the 2020 Award of Athletes of the Year is, drumroll, Megan Smith. Megan Smith. Congratulations, Megan. Megan started out as a super shy Let's Play chair recipient 10 years ago. I think we talked about that already. And she has blossomed into a fine young athlete. Megan has taken advantage of all the training opportunities throughout COVID, both virtual and in person. Her fundamental skills and her fitness have improved dramatically over the past year, as has her knowledge and understanding of the games. Megan has been a regular participant and a mentor in our Go Time program, and she's also volunteered many hours with the Let's Play online program. Megan agreed to be featured in the BCWBS Culinary Layup inspiration video with her father a few months ago. Perhaps you remember seeing that. I know I do. As one of the only young ladies in her age group and skill level in BC, sometimes, as you can imagine, it's difficult to train with her male counterparts, but Megan has taken it in stride and has not let that deter her at all from participating. Megan tries her best in everything she does, and it shows. Whether she's on the court sinking shots or studying for school, Megan puts her whole foot forward. Megan, just a personal note here from me. You have come a long way from the timid young athlete that I first met at Trinity Western University with your family so many years ago. We just want to say congratulations to you, Megan, for Athlete of the Year. Let's give Megan a virtual round of applause. Woo! Come on. Come on, Styles family. I know you're doing this. A little more gusto. Right on. Congratulations, Megan. Okay, now the voting is going to close in about 30 seconds. You know what to do to vote in the chat bar. I've already listed the 6 people several times. We've been pumping this. This is your last opportunity. I'm just going to give you a little basketball trivia while we give you those final seconds to vote. And the trivia that I came up with is actually comes and inspired by this ball. This would be the Molten GG7X. GG7X, yes. And the trivia that I'd like to, well, it's not even trivia, it's more of a fun fact. This is a standard 29.5-inch basketball played with the men's team. And Captain Google tells me that there are, when I look at all the dimples, the dots, the pebbles, sometimes they are called, Google tells me that in a regulation basketball like this one, there are 110 dimples per square inch on the surface of this ball. So this roughly translates out to about 35,000 pebbles on the surface of a regulation basketball. Now, my challenge to you, the viewing audience, is you need to use that fun fact somehow in your circle, in your network in the next week. Here's the key things to remember. 29.5-inch ball, regulation basketball. The little bumps are sometimes called pebbles or dimples. 110 per square inch, which roughly translate to over 35,000 little dimples and pebbles and bumps on a basketball. Who knew that this was going to be as an informative part of the evening as it is becoming? Okay, can I officially say now that the voting is closed? Okay, I will. The voting is now officially closed for the Push the Game recognition. So somehow through the magic of technology in my chat feature, which is over here, I am going to be able to read out that name to you at some point near the end of the evening. But we are now about to present the second Athlete of the Year award. And again, you can see that there's the criteria. You know that 2020 has been an absolutely bizarro year. And yet the list of the people in front of you, these are people who have been nominated and who have really gone above and beyond their training in making the Push the Game award something to strive for. So again, the nominees are, well, we're going to take Megan out of there because she's already won, but the remaining 5, this is for you. Ben Garrett, Ben Hagel, Malcolm Hunter, Brooke Parapaluk, and Riley Stiles. And the Athlete of the Year presented by the National Seating and Mobility. The second Athlete of the Year goes to, drumroll, drumroll, drumroll. Oh, it's Ben Hagel. Ben Hagel. Wow, Ben has kept his goal of making the senior national team very much alive in 2020. When the pandemic hit, he took his training to his living room. He mixed it up between training online and his schooling at Camosun College on the island. Ben, who is more commonly known as Fred in the basketball circles, was fortunate as a carded athlete. He was soon allowed to train with his coach, Simon, on the court, but without his teammates. Freddie just kept on pushing and training, and his overall fitness improved. In addition to his in-person training, Ben also attended the weekly roller sessions with athletes from across the province with Coach Joe. Fred is always one of the first to thank others, to be grateful for his support, and to show true professionalism at all times. Ben is dedicated to the sport, but also to being part of his team, even when he's moving on ahead of them to more involvement at the national level. He is a great athlete and a great young man that we have seen grow up by using wheelchair basketball to help him mature on so many levels. He takes every opportunity to be an ambassador of the sport. The nominator believes that Ben took every opportunity he could last year and remained committed to his training and focused on the greater personal goal of making the national team. Congratulations, Ben. Let's give Ben a virtual round of applause as well. And I'm going to use my MC privilege here just for a moment to speak directly to Ben. Benny, your mama and I are very proud. In fact, I don't think we could be prouder of you and the young man that you are becoming. So congratulations, Ben Hagel. You are the second athlete of the year that we've awarded tonight. So congratulations, Ben. Okay, we're going to move on to the Push the Game Viewer's Choice winning announcement. If we could just put the slide back up on the screen. Thanks everyone for posting your comments. Thank you for voting. The nominees again, Fraser Valley Wheelchair Sports, Bo Hedges, Joe Higgins, Tara Yanis, Keaton McEachran, Megan Smith, and I am pleased to announce the Push the Game winner tonight for 2020 is Keaton McEachran. Keaton McEachran. There is the slide. Yep, that's Keaton with the big smile down there. Keaton, I really don't have much of anything to read just in terms of a congratulatory greeting to you. But as one of your coaches, we are very, very proud of you. And this is a well-deserved award. So congratulations, Keaton. And thank you to everyone who has nominated and the people who have been the nominators of the awards that we have given away tonight. We are coming down to the end of the evening. There is a lot of people that we want to thank. And in fact, if we can get our first slide up there, we want to echo a heartfelt thank you to our 2020 BCWBS corporate and community partners. You can see them there: CIBC, Dockstader Subaru, the Rick Hansen Foundation, Via Sport and the Government of British Columbia, the Victory Creative Group, YVR, that is the Vancouver Airport Authority, and Wheelchair Basketball Canada. And also the BC SCI Network, BC Wheelchair Sports, the Disability Foundation, the Neil Squire Society, and the Spinal Cord Injury BC. There are a lot of other people that we want to continue to thank. So we're just going to keep moving on here. I'm not going to thank myself because, well, that would just be weird. But we do want to thank our national team athletes, Katie Dandino and Tara Yanis, for sharing their journey to Tokyo with us. We also want to say thank you to our awards partners, the National Seating and Mobility, and also Victory Creative. And then thank you to all of our coaches, our volunteers, our regional clubs, our athletes, people in the BC WBS family. Here's to making 2021 even more fun than 2020. And I think we have a final slide of thank yous. As you know, and I don't need to say this, there are a lot of people who have put in so much energy into making this weirdo, bizarro year happen. And this includes our BCWBS staff: Marnie Ammett-Peter, Nadine, Orion, Elizabeth, Michelle, and of course, Sean Blythe. So before we move away, in addition to thanking the people that we did, I know that there's some other people. there are some other people in our network that have made our year a successful one. These are our community supporters. These are the athletes themselves who get up early to train and to make sure that they leave their workout with a sweaty forehead and a smile on their face. We want to give a huge shout out to all of the parents that drive their youngsters around, to the people that pump out the tires and they clean out the hair out of the front casters. You know who you are. The people who have that little bit of grease on their shirts from taking off wheels and transporting them into the backs of the cars. You know who you are. We want to say a huge thanks to all of the coaches and the volunteers from all of the communities that participate in our great game in our province. And what would our sport be without our dedicated fans? And so really what I'm trying to say is a thank you to everyone. Thank you to tonight's winners. And thank you to you, the audience, for tuning in tonight. This has been an exceptionally challenging year. We can see all the people on the screen and the people that I've mentioned. You have really shifted your mindset and pulled together. Let's hope that 2021 is not going to be a repeat. We hope to see you all on the court soon. And so stay healthy, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. This is the official end of our awards celebration. Good night.